Well, hey there, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. I'm not sure how your guys' day went, but around our house, we were able to get up and stay in our pajamas for quite a while and relax and just make it a really enjoyable, basic day where we just got to spend time with each other as a family and stuff. I think that's one of the hardest things sometimes to do as you're going through your life and you've got all these different responsibilities and obligations going on. So it's really important that we take those moments, whether it's a holiday or not, to be able to just connect as a family. So I hope that's what you got to do this Christmas. I know that this year 2019 is winding down and we are facing 2020 really quickly. It's less than a week away. Hopefully you've got some goals and things in mind of how you want your life to be better this next year. I know that I've been working on my goals and hopefully I'll have those all nailed down here pretty soon. And that's another thing. If you happen to have your goals for this coming up year, I'd love to hear them. Go ahead and put them down in the comments, and we'll go ahead and maybe help somebody else get an idea of what they want to do for their coming up year. Today, I just wanted to take a moment as we close out this year, and we're looking forward to 2020. Things that I think would be helpful to you on making the most of your time and making 2020 your best year so far. So what I want to talk to you today about was simply how to find the right house cleaner for service for you. And I've got some actual notes here, so if you see me kind of looking down, honestly, I'm not just trying to ignore you. I'm reading my notes. But one of the things I wanted to start out with talking about is, why does it matter? Why does finding the right house cleaning service for you matter? And I've got a couple of things here. One, I'm pretty sure you work hard, both out if you have a career that you're doing, you work really hard there, both in trying to make sure that you provide for your family and your employer, and you get a good return for your time. And if you happen to be somebody who stays at home, you're a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, whatever, you work from home, I'm pretty sure that you work hard there at your home life too. And so your time is valuable. Which leads us to the fact that as much as we don't want to talk about it, our lives are finite. That means at some point in time, you and I are both going to leave this rock and we're going to be buried in it, burned up, or some form of disappearing act there. We don't have infinity for us to get things done, to spend time with our family, to do the things that we always wish we'd done. I read, and some of you may have heard this, there was a gal that used to work in the hospice care, and she started categorizing and logging all the stuff that she'd learned from these people who were facing the very end of their life. And one of the things that they always said that seemed to come up with like the number 1, 2 thing was that they wish they had spent more time living a life that was true to them. The other thing was that they wish that they'd spent more time with loved ones, done more things that they had enjoyed and what mattered most. Uh, Nobody that I'm aware ever said, I wish I'd worked more at the office, or I wish I spent more time cleaning my house. These are all things that are important to do. It is important to work your job. It is important to provide for your family. And it's important to have a clean home. But those are things that in the end, we probably spend way too much time in doing, even though they do provide us with some kind of reward, like being able to enjoy the peace and just relaxation a clean home can bring, or the fact that, you know what, we need money. I don't know about you, but my landlord really doesn't take IOUs, and neither does the store or anywhere else for that matter. I need it to be able to provide my family, but there's always that balance. So I want you to realize that one of the reasons that I believe you need a house cleaning service is because your life, my life, our life is finite. It's very short. When we look at the timeline of this world, regardless of what you believe the timeline to be, somebody living 100 years, that's just a blip on the radar. And I hope that when you look back on your life, that you've spent more of it on those things that you feel matter to you than those little things that were just, they were urgent, but not important, if you understand what I mean. Another thing is that in this whole idea of looking for a house cleaning service for you, the benefits and the reason why I think it matters is because a clean home helps to release that mental stress that we get. Sometimes you come into your home and it's a mess and you don't know why you're feeling anxious and you just can't deal with things. It's because the house is not taken care of. Your house is a mess, which makes most of us feel internally that something's not right. We're always looking for that sanctuary, call it, where things just feel right where they should be. And when your house is not taken care of properly, it can take that away from you. And when it is, and you've got that mental stress out of the way, it actually releases the ability to have better creativity, better problem solving, whether it's just simply trying to figure out how to get through your day or whatever. But it's hard to do that when you're looking at this mess that is supposed to be your sanctuary, your place of relaxation, and your fortress almost from the outside world. Because let's face it, when we're out and about, there's a lot of things that can come at us. There's individuals, there's the traffic, there's all the stress of life, and we want a place to come home. I mean, that's a really good way to put it. Coming home, where other things are in place and somebody else is taking care of things. It has that feel. When I say that, I think of, and this probably dates me, the old Walton TV show, and like Andy Griffin, and just all these old shows where it just felt at peace when you came to. And that's what having a clean home can do for you and why it matters. The other thing is that a clean home helps you get more energy and have that mental clarity. Again, like we're talking about, is to be able to think through problems. A lot of the time when you're stressed out and you're feeling anxious, the problem is that there's so many other things going on that you don't have the ability to put your mental energy towards it so that you can find a better solution. Because all these things are just like little gnats kind of flying around at you as you're trying to deal with it, and it just doesn't help. So what should you look for when you're trying to find the right house cleaning service for you? One, you want a company with a proven track record, one that has been able to provide great service on a consistent basis. The other thing you want to make sure is that this isn't just simply about the work that they do. You also want to find out, do they have a consistent track record of how they deal with problems? Because let's be honest, you deal with a company long enough, there's bound to be problems in one form or another. And the question is, how do they deal with it? Do they point the finger at you as the customer and make you feel like, hey, this is just, it's your fault, you should have done better, or whatever. It just doesn't leave you feeling good. Have you ever gone to a restaurant when they bring out the food and it's not quite the way you wanted it, and they start to act like it's your fault because you ordered it wrong? And that doesn't leave you feeling good. So you really like the companies where you go and they just like, hey, no problem. Even if maybe you did do something wrong, you want them to be able to take that burden off of you and get it right. Because in the end, you just want to feel good about the transaction. And honestly, from a business standpoint, we want to feel good about it too. So make sure you're looking for a company that has a proven track record, not only of the quality that they do and the service they provide, but also how they deal with problems. The next is you want a company that resonates with your core values. So you heard in the media different issues with companies that they try to run their business from a religious standpoint, and unfortunately that kind of rubs off on other people. And my main thing would be, look up the company that you're wanting to do business with and find out what matters to them. And if that's something that matters to you too, then you might have a match. But if your thing is like you're really important about the environment, you want to make sure that you're using non-toxic cleaners, and you want to make sure that they use only reusable, renewable resources, and you find a company that doesn't, well, you're probably not going to feel good about that. For us here, we try to use, things that are safe and non-toxic in your home, because I have kids, and I want to make sure that what I bring into my home is something that's okay for them to be around. At the same time, sometimes we have to use harsher chemicals. That may not be okay for people. Something that might be good too that you want to look for is if you're really big on paying it forward and helping out the community, you want to make sure you're finding a company that does the same thing. For us, we go ahead and partner with Cleaning for a Reason, which means if there's somebody out there that is battling cancer and they are, whether woman, male, men, women, children, or families with kids, we go in and we offer them free house cleaning. It's totally on us. We don't charge them in any fashion. So that's part of our way of making sure we're doing something in the community. And if that's important to you, hey, hopefully that means something to you and you'd like to do business with us. But if it's not, then again, you want that company that resonates with what's important to you. And you're going to find them. That's all of us do that in some fashion. And so make sure you're looking for what goes on in their world, what's important to them, and how does it jive with you. And the last thing here is, you know that a lot of time when we're looking, we want a good deal. I want a good deal too. Sometimes, in a lot of cases, actually, cheaper is not better, or it doesn't equal better. If you want the cheapest house cleaning service, I'll be honest, the cheapest is you doing it yourself. But then again, you're paying your time. So what's that worth to you? Again, at the end of your life, you're not going to look back and go, I am so happy I took that time to clean my house every week. You're going to be thinking about all those things you didn't do, those people that you didn't spend time with. So it's really good if those are important to you, if that time with those loved ones, that time spent investing in yourself is important to you, finding the right house cleaner is important too. You want a company in the end that cares about you. House cleaning is not super difficult, but caring for you is more important, and it can be something that requires more thought than what it takes to clean a home. So as you're considering these things and you're looking through, make sure that one, you understand why it matters. You work hard, your life is short, and a dirty home creates a lot of stress and anxiety, which then impedes your ability to think clearly for other things. You want a company that they have a proven track record for the work that they do and the way that they deal with problems. You want to make sure that you have a company that resonates with your core values, what's important to you. And you want to make sure that they are in the business to care about you, not simply make money. Money's great, okay, but you also want to make sure that they are in it to take care of you as an individual, and they see you as a customer, not as a paycheck. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that you are ready to have an amazing 2020, and I'd love to hear from you guys. What is important to you? Is there anything that you feel I left out that would be helpful? Questions that you still have? Go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And if there's anything else you're looking at as far as you'd love for us to talk about, go ahead and leave that in the comments as well. I'm also looking at possibly doing some interviews with people. So maybe even talking to some window cleaning companies, because we don't do that here, or carpet cleaning companies, or just anything around that would be helpful around your house, or just somebody you'd love to see us bring on as an interview. If customers want to come on and be interviewed, we'd love to have that too. But as we go into this 2020, I hope that you are looking forward to a great year, and that you are looking at ways that you can spend more time with your family, your friends, doing things that matter most to you, and most importantly, being able to have a clean home without you doing it so much. So until next year, we'll see you then. Bye.